Okay, shalom, shalom. Kwam Yasha Allah, Koholoim La Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Rahahakudash. Double honors to our apostles, elders of Great Millstone who were well, and that by the Spirit taught us this beautiful truth. Just want to say the water toward the H.I.M and Akhwaf that's out here sincerely keeping the laws, the statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushai to the best of their ability. This is Yachanan Nawaf. Just coming at you with another quick lesson, praying that it's edifying by the Spirit. And this is a book that I found at the Salvation Army store a while back. It's called the Juicing Bible. It's the second edition, which made me want to go online and see if I could actually find the first edition. But this edition is, really good. It's got a lot of good things in there that I've tried that I know for a fact work. And only paid $1.99 for it at the thrift store. But anyway, I wanted to touch on this right here because it was a Jake. Earlier today, I was in Walmart and I was grabbing some things to make something that I had been making out of here for quite some time that I noticed worked. It's called Blazing Beats. But I seen this younger Jake, and he just out of the blue. He was like, he's like, hey, and just the shit was just out of the blue, and it just kind of surprised me. But hey, I told him what was up. But he was asking about being infertility, right? So they have juices and teas and things that you can do for infertility. He was like, him and his girl have been trying to have a baby, which I didn't go all off into brother, you shouldn't even be thinking about that shit right now, but what's about to go down in this world, right? But as you can see right here, and matter of fact, they got it for females too, infertility for females, right? But I wanted to, more focus. I can kind of go into both of them, you know what I'm saying? But, they give you pretty much whatever it is that you're trying to do. Then they, of course, they give you the healing foods, fruits, vegetables, you know what I'm saying? Herbs and others, you know what I'm saying? Nuts, beans, things of that nature. And then they have these, it tells you what to maximize. Then it tells you what to minimize. And then it goes off into the page, the page where you go to the juice, the teas, or the smoothies, because that's all it is. It's a juicing Bible, right? So let me just get to the point of the mail, right? Because it's something that caught me when I was reading through it. Because I told the guy, I would say, well, hey, shoot me your number real quick. Once I get to the crib, I'll take some photos of these particular hookups and send it to you, and you can just do your thing from there. You know what I'm saying? But here you go. You got infertility for males, right? So let's see here. So as you can see here, it says male infertility is characterized by low sperm count and low sperm motility, a situation in which the semen is too thick to allow proper sperm mobility. Causes can be related to a deficiency in dietary, nutrients, hormone imbalance, or stress, and that's something that a lot of Jake go through. Just in general, Jake going through it, man. It says there is some evidence. Now, this is the point that I wanted to get because I didn't see this before. You know what I'm saying? When I was kind of reading through it, as I was trying to get a good picture of it for the guy, and I seen this shit. It says there is some evidence that suggests that the estrogens and pesticides and other chemical pollutants may be a cause of declining sperm counts over the past 50 years. I was like, God damn. Now, this right here is not medical information. Hey, you gotta, you go for self, you do your own thing, because it gives you healing foods for that, though. Right here it says fruits and vegetables, berries, cantaloupe, grapefruit, kiwi, oranges, strawberries, asparagus, avocados, broccoli, cabbage, cauliflower, leafy greens, especially spinach, red and green bell peppers. So, shit, you have oxy, this shit be like, I'm staying away from all that shit because I don't want to have no damn baby. But it says herbs, though. Astragalus, cayenne, ginger, ginkgo, ginseng, red raspberry leaf, right? Then they have others on here. Bran, fish oils, legumes, nuts, oats, seeds, especially sunflower and pumpkin seeds, soybean products, whole grains, A lot of that soy shit I try to stay away from though. But I mean, like I said, this is not medical information. I just wanted to kind of just touch on that because this is telling on Esau right here. It says, let me get that part again. It says there is some evidence that suggests that the estrogens and pesticides and other chemicals, pollutants, may be the cause of declining sperm counts over the past 50 years, right? So, it gives you what to do. Antioxidant-rich fruits and vegetables, especially those that contain vitamin C. Studies have shown that high sperm motility requires a sufficient intake of vitamin C. Foods that contain zinc, seafood, well, we can only eat that comes out of the waters, fish with fins and scales. That's it. No damn seafood, no lobster, no shrimp, no crab, no mussels, no damn frog legs, no fucking nothing but fish with fins and scales. Not catfish, because catfish has fins but no scales, right? So it says legumes, which is pretty much like beans and stuff like that, whole grains, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds, which is required for sperm motility. It says herbs that improve circulation, cayenne and ginger. That's something big, and I'm surprised it didn't mention garlic. Well, I know garlic, it deals with inflammation and stuff like that as well. It says of all body fluids, including semen. Herbs that improve circulation, cayenne, ginger, of all body fluids, including semen. So cayenne and ginger is really good. It said now to minimize, what it says to minimize, iodized salt. So I use that Himalayan sea salt. Excess iodine, lower sperm count. A lot of Jake got high blood pressure, man. Refined food, and exercising, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting some damn walking and running in, jogging, or at least nice walks. It says minimize refined foods, white rice, white flour, white sugar. Which these are all things. See, matter of fact, these are things. This is something that you would generally hear the apostles talking about. Animal fats and meat and dairy products. So that was pretty much it on the minimize. I think it was what else? Oh, it goes to the next page on this one. Salakia. So let me flip over, because it gives you the actual things that you can put together with your smoothies or your teas or your the juices, right? Okay, so now it says appear to eliminate, continuing with the eliminate alcohol, coffee, tea, and soft drinks, which decrease sperm health. Other recommendations: drink tea made from non-nourishing herbs, German chamomile, and skullcap oat straw. Never even heard of that before. And regularly include relaxing activities such as what I just said. That I didn't even know that was there: walking, meditation, yoga, tai chi, to reduce stress. Because Jake be stressed, man. Jake be stressed. Shit, Jake, but when we used to be stressed back in the days, when you go into the scriptures, as far as Jake was overworked in Egypt, man, and Jake was just banging his woman out, because they had a lot of stress. But see, back then the foods was better. You didn't have the pesticides that we have right now. You didn't have all the things that we have right now. But even though Jake was stressed, Jake would use that. He would go home and deal with his woman and release that stress. Wasn't no condoms, wasn't no spermicides, and no damn condoms, and trying to keep you from having a damn kid. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't all the shit that we got right now, man. That let you know that we're under those curses of Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? And so it has the healing drinks, right? So any brother that see the video, if you wanna and you need something to deal with whatever, hey, just drop a comment in the comment, and I'll go into this boy and see what I can shoot you, man. We can go into it. But this is healing drinks. They have a berry fine cocktail, Kali Slaw, a Sea Blitz, which they show you the pages and they tell you how much or whatever to put into your juicer, and you can juice. And then they have a sea green, which is basically a lot of green things, citrus cocktail, circulation tea, ginseng, raspberry tea. So but that's I kind of sent the brother those couple of I only sent him like two of these because a lot of this stuff you got to find the ingredients. Some of this stuff is pretty straightforward. You know what I'm saying? Pretty straightforward. You know what I'm saying? So, but now let me show you what's in here too, just in case. Like I said, because this thing, this shit actually covers HIV. So to anybody that may have possibly taken that, that jump shot, man. You know what I'm saying? Let me see. Because this is the list of diseases that it deals with. It deals with all parts of the system. So you got, it goes into the benefits of juicing, benefits of pulping. Going to juicing machines, pulping machines. You can just go to Walmart, man, get you a regular blender and get a lot of this going. But this is what it deals with, right? Healthy living, the healthy body systems, right? So it covers all this: cardiovascular system, digestive system, endocrine system, immune system, muscular skeletal system, nervous system, respiratory system. So now let's go on and we can see the list of things. So it goes through all the, give you a couple of more things on, it's a nice book, man. I'll put it that way. Okay, so it tells you about all the systems, cardiovascular problems. It goes into a lot of what's going on with that healthy cardiovascular system, foods you can combine, endocrine system. You got the immune system. So lucky, I know I'm kind of bouncing it around, but I just wanted to just get to basically the table of contents here real quick. Right here. Okay, so here we go. Here's all the things that it deals with. I mean, it's a long list of everything here for all the systems, right? So they got at the very top, AIDS, HIV. They have a concoction in here as far as drinks, fruits, vegetables that you can take the shit to get rid of that shit, basically. Aging, allergies, alopecia, Alzheimer's disease, and dementia. If you're feeling like you got some brain clog, amnesia, anxiety states, arthritis, ADD, and ADHD, breastfeeding, bronchitis, cancer prevention, candida, chronic fatigue syndrome, common cold, constipation, depression, diabetes, diarrhea, diverticular disease, endometriosis. I'm not probably butchering that shit. Eye problems, fatigue, fibromyalgia, flatulence, gallstones, gout, hangover, headaches, heart problems, heartburn, herpes simplex. Damn. Damn. Hypoglycemia, immune deficiency, impotence. I think that was the one that oh yeah, oh no, I didn't go into that. Impotence. I guess you can't get your rod up, man. They got one, I think that's the one with the blazing beats. Beats got a lot to do with that particular one. But pretty much that what goes into what I went into with the infertility for the male thing. Indigestion, then of course infertility female, infertility male, inflammatory bowel disease, influenza, insomnia, irritable bowel syndrome, kidney stones, laryngitis, liver problems, low libido, lupus, menopause, menstrual disorders, migraines, multiple sclerosis, osteoporosis, overweight, Parkinson's disease, peptic ulcers, pregnancy, prostate enlargement, benign sinusitis, okay, skin conditions, smoking and quitting. Any of you brothers just coming into this truth, you need some help with getting that bug off your back with that smoke, man. Urinary tract infections, uterine fibroids, varicose veins, and hemorrhoids, and water retention. That was the last one on the list. So, and the scriptures, and roughly paraphrasing the scripture, talks about how The medicines come of the earth, man. They come, the Lord has placed the medicines in the earth, man. But Esau, Edom, this man has gotten a hold to all the shit, and he really has caused this man got to go. He's the damn devil. He's the reason why people are having those particular problems with pregnancy. Here you go. Now you got Donald Trump. He just signed an executive order a few months back, with IVF and bunch of so-called white women that can't handle damn babies. These so-called white men, they've sperm count down. They're dying off quicker than they're being born. That's been a story as of late. You know what I'm saying? In a lot of news articles, and that's worldwide. Esau not having no kids, but I just wanted to just kind of touch on that real quick because this guy, he just asked me that out of the blue, man. He was just like, he just casually asked me that shit. I was kind of surprised. I'm like, damn. He's like, man, and he's a healthy looking dude, yeah, he was talking about trying to get rid of his gut, you know what I'm saying? He drank beer and shit like that, he was saying, but, he looked like he couldn't have been no more than about 23, 24, maybe 25 or so. Yep. He didn't look like he was in super, he had a little gut, you know what I'm saying? He didn't look like he was super overweight for his height, because he was well over 6 feet. But, and he was talking about, yeah, man, I just want to get healthy, man. I want to, hit the gym. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But me and my lady, we was trying to have, I'm like, well, shit. I didn't, like I said again, I didn't go all off into like, man, no, you probably don't even want to even fuck with no babies right now, because man, the time period that we in, it's just not expedient, really, But hey, if I had time to really just kick it with him, hey, I'd have told him straight up, hey, look, the spirits are the Lord, man. If the Lord want a spirit to come into this world through you, it's gonna happen regardless. You know what I'm saying? So, but it would be better because I did notice that in the infertility for females, it was basically, and I guess that would be for males as well, but to basically clean yourself up for a few months, detox. That's what it was pretty much saying for the woman. Detox. Use all these things to just basically, you just cleanse yourself out. Because Jake is just full of a bunch of bullshit, man. Parasites and shit. We do the best that we can. Jake be drinking all kinds of bullshit. You want to try and get as much water intake that you can in, you know what I'm saying? But when you doing these juicers, man, and these teas and stuff like that, hey, man, that stuff be working, man. But you got to add the extra stuff that goes along with it. You got to get into that walking or some jogging or just some simple weightlifting or, something get your cardio up, get your blood moving, get you to breathing and shit. You know what I'm saying? I didn't ask him if he ate pork and shit like that, but of course, you can't be eating no shit like that anyway. That ain't gonna help you at all. That ain't gonna do nothing but kill your ass. But anyway, I just wanted to just touch on this, man. So again, if any brothers, you know what I'm saying, or sisters or whoever, listen to these lessons and you see, you seen anything in here, you can take a snapshot, of any of this right here and say, hey, can you go into, hey, I'll look the shit up in here, man, and see what it says and run down, all the stuff you need to go to the supermarket and get, man. You know what I'm saying? Because it's really, a lot of this stuff is really simple, but some of this stuff you really got to go to a health food store to find, like, certain shit that you just not gonna find in, your regular Walmarts or your regular supermarket. You got to go to, real health food stores and see if you can find certain things. You know what I'm saying? So, certain things can be a little expensive, but hey, if you can, your health is worth it. I'll put it that way. If it's something that you can, but a lot of, like I said, a lot of this stuff is simple. It's really very simple, like simple juices, man. So with that, I pray that the lesson was edifying. Kwam Yasha Allah and a Baba Boy.